In this video, I'll share 5 practical ways I use GPT while studying for the California bar exam, from predicting essay subjects to selecting the most efficient practice questions. These were not theories. They were real methods I used during my 3-month study period, and they truly made a difference. 1. Essay subject prediction. First, I listed every subject that had appeared in past bar essays over the last several years. Then I asked GPT to predict the likelihood of each subject appearing in the next exam, ranking them from highest to lowest probability. At that point, I used GPT's result only as a first guideline. Later, I refined the prediction by calculating actual probabilities using Excel. That process involved some detailed math, so I'll make a separate video showing exactly how I did that. There are actually several different ways to calculate it. 2. Essay grading. Since I had never lived in an English-speaking country, I had very little experience writing in English. When I wrote essays under time pressure, I often made mistakes with tenses or singular plural forms, and using advanced vocabulary was almost impossible. But in my opinion, grammar and word choice aren't the most important factors in this kind of exam. The first priority is whether you covered the major issues and applied the facts from the case properly. The second is how many minor issues you identified and how well you used the facts to support your analysis. Grammar might influence a top score, but it doesn't decide whether you pass or fail. So I uploaded the essay question file and asked GPT something like this: "I'm practicing for the California bar exam." The file below is my answer to the attached question. Please tell me if I missed any major issues and point out important grammar errors. Then grade my answer based on your criteria and create a model answer that improves my version. I asked GPT to explain the grading feedback in my native language to make sure I fully understood the reasoning. I tried to keep track of grammar mistakes so I wouldn't repeat them, but honestly, I didn't have extra time to study grammar separately. GPT tended to grade a little generously, but that actually helped me stay positive and motivated. When I missed an issue that I had previously marked as important, I thought about why I had missed it. If the issue came from a rule I hadn't memorized, I thought about how I could still structure my logic and apply facts effectively if it appeared on the real exam. After all, you will always see questions that go beyond what you studied. Correcting rule errors. During my LLM studies, I collected a rules summary file. I chose a moderate version, not too long, because I knew I couldn't study everything. However, I noticed that some rules had grammar errors, unclear logic, or inconsistent connections between sentences, especially in subjects I had never studied before. So I asked GPT to review the entire set. Please check if there are any grammatical mistakes or logical inconsistencies in these rules. Of course, I didn't rely blindly on GPT. If GPT's explanation made sense, I corrected the rule accordingly. If not, I double-checked with another AI tool to confirm. In the end, I used GPT to fix errors and create a clean, updated version of my rule file, which became my core study material. 4. Selecting important rules. You can ask GPT to rank the rules by importance, but without clear criteria, that doesn't mean much. So I built a step-by-step process. First, I asked GPT to summarize the main issues tested in essay questions for each subject over the last 10 years. That gave me a clear view of how topics evolved over time. Next, I provided that timeline and asked GPT to predict which issues were most likely to appear in the upcoming exam based on the trends. Finally, I showed GPT my rule list and said, "Based on your analysis, please categorize the following rules into 3 levels of likelihood: 3 stars for high probability, 1 star for low." The results were surprisingly accurate. They mostly matched the importance I had felt intuitively while studying, and sometimes GPT highlighted unexpected issues that I might have ignored otherwise. Interestingly, one of those unexpected issues in trusts actually appeared on the real exam. GPT was truly helpful in identifying which rules deserved my limited attention. 5. Choosing practice essay questions. Since I didn't buy any commercial bar prep course, I only had access to past essay questions, and even those, I didn't have time to attempt all of them. I probably practiced only 3 to 5 per subject, and for some, I wrote just an outline instead of a full answer. Still, I didn't want to waste time on random essays. So I asked GPT, based on the history of essay topics, which issues are most likely to appear next time? And among the past questions, which ones contain the most of those likely issues? Please recommend the top 3 practice questions. Then I focused on those top 3 questions for each subject. I haven't compared them directly with the actual July 2025 exam yet, but I believe that focused practice, guided by GPT's predictions, was more than enough to pass, especially given my English level. GPT didn't just give me answers, it gave me a system. It helped me organize, prioritize, and study in the smartest way possible. If you use it with the right structure, GPT can be one of the most powerful tools for bar exam preparation.